everyone, today we'll be doing Surds math, so let's get started. So first we have to know what is a surd. So a surd is basically just a number that can't have like a square root or a cube root. It can't be more simplified into like a whole number or a fraction. So an example of this will be root 2 and root 5, since we can't really simplify it, but root 25 can be simplified into 5. Express root 48 plus root 108 in the form of k root 6, where k is a surd. So the first thing we have to do is simplify this surd. So we can see that it can be written as this: 16 times 3, 40. Root 48 can be written as root 16 times 3, and 16 is a square of 4, so 4 root 3. Great. Then we have 108, which can be written as root 36 times 3, so 36 is a square of 6, so 6 root 3. So now 4 root 3 plus 6 root 3 equals 10 root 3. These don't really add up. You can't really add up those surds because they're the same value. So now that we have this, we have to look at the question again, where in the form of k root 6, where k is a surd. So right now 10 is not a surd. What do we have to do? We have to make k root 6 equal to 10 root 3. So now k is the variable here. We move root 6 to the other side. So k equals 10 root 3 over root 6. So now this is a fraction, and we can actually simplify this fraction because we can see that this 3 and 6 are from the same table. Let me write it here: 10 root 3 over root 6. So we can just divide by root 3, the surds. So that equals to 10 over root 2. So now this comes our next step, where we have to rationalize the denominator. So how do we do that? We simply multiply the numerator and denominator by the denominator. So root 2, so that will equal to, so 2 times root 2, so you multiply the inner numbers of the root equals 4, so 4 root 4 is 2. So we have 10 root 2 over 2. Yeah, it's kind of a lot, but that was for 3 marks. Yeah. Our second question is: show that root 27 plus root 147 can be expressed in the form of a root b, where a and b are both integers. So what you have to know about integers is it's just a whole number that can be negative or positive, but also with 0 involved. So first, let's start by simplifying. Um, 49 times, so 49 can be squared into 7 root 3. So now 3 root 3 plus 7 root 3 equals 10 root 3, which is our answer. simplify 7 plus 2 root 50 5 minus 2 root 2. Give your answer in the form a plus b, where root 18, where a and b are both integers. Show you're working clearly. So first we have to expand the brackets. But it would be easier if we first simplified our surd. So 50 is one of our surds. We can write that as 10 times 5, but that can't be simplified. 10 times 5 can't be simplified, but 25 times 2 can be. So now we have the 2 in front of it, this 2 over here, and we have to add that. So 2 times 5 root 2 equals 10 root 2. So now we have 7 plus 10 root 2 minus 2 root 2. So now let's expand. So 7 times 5 is 35, and 7 times minus 2 would be minus 14. So minus 14 root 2, the root will be untouched. So then 10 with 5 and 10 with this. So 10 root 2 times 5 would be 50 plus 50 root 2 and 10 root 2 times 2 root 2 would be 10 times 2, which is minus 20, and 2 times 2 would be 2. Root 2 times root 2 would be 2, because they multiply to 4, and 4 is root 2. So minus 20 times 2 is minus 40. So now we have to collect the like terms. 30 minus 40 plus 40 plus minus 14 root 2 okay, so that this will equal to minus 5. Okay, minus 14 plus 50 is equal to plus 36 root 2. So this is our answer. Whoa. Okay, let's do this one. This will be our last question because the video is getting long. Show that root 48 plus root 108 can be expressed in the form a root b, where a and b are integers. Integers, once again, whole numbers, minus or positive or 0. So let's start with root 48. 16 times 3 equals 4 root 3. 108 can be written as 36 times 3, and 36 is 6 times 6, so 6 root 3. So now we just add. That is equal to 10 root 3. So surds are kind of a harder topic for me, because it's similar to algebra though, it's similar to algebra, but because most of the laws are same, like when you expand a bracket, it just has its own specific rules. Like you don't add the when the two roots surds are same and you add and multiply, it just equals to the number inside it without a root, because it creates a square, you know. So that was it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching.